Jessie V, and today we're gonna be talking about bubblegum. But before we get started, obviously you can see that I have a new backdrop behind me. I don't think I've ever had such like a beautiful royal purple background. I love it, and I love skulls. This is kind of our transition phase between Halloween and Christmas, because you bet in December we're gonna have a Christmas background. So as usual, because I have a new background, that means I'm going to be announcing the winner of last month's background. So you had to go and follow my TikTok account to be entered, and the winner is the account called V's X Bagel. I hope I'm saying that right. And yeah, I know I say bagel weird, okay? Bagel. Get used to it. My parents were always like,
Jess, it's bagel. Bagel.
And I'm like, bagel? Thanks to all of you guys who entered to win for this backdrop. I really appreciated all the interaction you guys gave me on my TikTok account. And now here's how to enter to win this new purple background behind me. All you have to do is go subscribe to my other YouTube channel called Moot. If you guys are kind of new to this channel, about 2 or 3 years ago, I made this channel and I play this character named Moot. He has this like big poofy red hair and he's super nerdy and just does really stupid and weird things. And I really want to like reactivate that channel and start posting there again. So to enter to win this backdrop, all you have to do is go over there and subscribe and comment anything you want on every single video that he posts there this month. And don't worry, there's not that many videos there. And I'm probably going to be posting like 2 more there for November. So if I see your name popping up a lot, I will choose you to win this background. Anyways, so guys, let's get right into this video talking about bubblegum. We're going to be going into bubblegum history and some very creepy things associated with bubblegum. Bubblegum was invented in 1928 by a man named Walter Deemer. He actually worked at a bubblegum factory as an accountant, and one day he was really bored and decided to experiment with different kinds of gum recipes. Well, eventually Walter came up with a formula that wasn't as sticky as regular gum. It was also super stretchy, which meant you could blow bubbles with it. And no one had ever done that with gum before, because yeah, gum was invented quite a while ago, but no one had invented bubble gum. Now, unfortunately for Walter, right after he invented bubble gum, he lost the recipe. And it took him 4 months straight to create that exact recipe again. And don't worry, that time he decided to make sure it was safe. But some people wonder, why is bubble gum pink? That's like the color we always associate bubble gum with. When Walter Deemer was coming up with a new type of gum, pink food coloring was the only color available, and so pink it was for the rest of time. Now, just some strange facts about bubblegum. February 2nd is actually National Bubblegum Day, and the largest bubble that has ever been blown with gum measured over 50 centimeters around. And apparently this person who did that had to chew only 3 pieces of gum to get it that big. Apparently around 100,000 tons of bubblegum is chewed every year, which is pretty insane. That's the weight of over 14,000 elephants. And because bubblegum is usually thrown in the trash as soon as you're done chewing it, companies have actually collected it to create children's toys. They just recycle it to make rubber toys. Now, I want to talk about this very strange place in the world. It's called Bubblegum Alley. This is an alley in California that is covered in gum. People stop there to stick their chewed up gum on its walls. This alleyway has been a landmark for gum chewers for about 20 years. It now features millions of pre-chewed colorful wads of gum. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this sounds extremely germy, and I don't know, I'm just super freaked out about that kind of stuff and probably would never walk through there, especially with what's going on in the world right now. Those walls must be crawling with bacteria. Like, you just have to imagine all of those pieces of gum on the wall were once inside people's watery, moist mouths. Now, while bubblegum was invented in the early 1900s, plain chewing gum has been around a lot longer. Some Europeans chewed birch bark tar around 9,000 years ago. So they just chewed the bark right off the trees, and it was like gum. Alright, so let's talk about the creepiest gum commercial that has ever been made. During my research, I found that this particular commercial that I'm about to talk about was voted the creepiest ever. This was for a product called Dentyne Frostbites Gum, and it came out back in like 2005 or 2006. And in this particular commercial, it shows this couple riding in the back of a cab, kind of going through the city, and the guy takes out his Frostbites gum. He offers it to the girl and she takes one, but then he dumps the whole thing into his hands and just eats them all at once. Like, he probably stuffs like 25 of these gum pieces in his mouth at once. This is where the weird part Bart comes in, he starts chewing all this gum in his mouth, and then suddenly his face freezes and turns blue. And his facial expression is all weird and his girlfriend starts crying. And if this wasn't unnerving enough, his head suddenly breaks off and falls into this girl's lap. So then the girlfriend starts screaming and the taxi driver starts screaming, everyone's screaming, and it keeps showing like the close-up of this guy's like beheaded head. And I remember watching this commercial as a little kid and just being so weirded out by it. I hated it. And now I know that everyone else on the internet agrees with me. Now watching this as an adult, it's kind of funny. Like obviously they made this commercial to be like comedy. Anyway, so let's move on to a creepy TV show episode that had to do with gum. This involves a show that was called Ghost Writer. Ghost Writer was a show that ran on PBS back in 1992 to 1995. It was basically where a group of friends would solve mysteries in New York with the help of a spirit who could only communicate through writing. Well, there was this specific episode called Attack of the Slime Monster, and it scared so many kids around the world. Basically in the TV episode, this girl gets a gift from her cousin, and it's this toy named Gooey Gus. And it's basically this purple monster that spits slime into your mouth, and if you chew on this slime, it turns into purple bubblegum. Now, this creature can also catch you and wrap you up in this gum cocoon. He apparently has this deep, ugly laugh and needs heat and water to survive. And apparently this whole episode just gave kids nightmares, and this was actually the very last episode in the entire series, so people weren't sure if this show had to stop because of this episode or if it was just like a coincidence. But I mean, the whole storyline of this is so weird. Imagine like being gifted this creepy bubblegum looking thing and it spits in your mouth to give you grape flavored gum. And the last story I wanted to talk about is a haunted retro gumball machine. This apparently is a true story, but I'm not entirely sure if it is. There's an apparent true story about a haunted retro gumball machine that sat in a toy shop in Florida back in the early 2000s. Apparently the owner of this toy shop found this old bubblegum machine at an auction, and the person he bought it from believed this machine to be from 1915. Well, as soon as he put this bubblegum machine into his shop, weird things started happening. He would arrive in the morning and the bubblegum would be all over the floor in piles, which was strange because the only way it could come out of the machine is if someone put money in it. Kids would also come into the store and complain about seeing this old woman's reflection in the glass of the bubblegum machine. They would say she had this bun on the top of her head, she had glasses, pearl earrings, and he would hear this complaint from different kids at different times, and these people would not know each other at all. And sometimes when he was closing up the store for the night, he would see her walking around in the side of his eye. But when he turned to see her, nothing would be there. He eventually decided to get rid of this machine because he was actually losing customers because of it, because a rumor was going around in the town and no one wanted to go to a store where a creepy apparition of an old woman was. And the second he gave this machine away, all this creepy activity stopped in his toy store. So yeah, I had never heard of like a haunted gumball machine before, but I guess a lot of things exist that I don't know about. Anyway, so guys, that is the end of today's video. If you have any other creepy bubblegum facts, definitely comment it down below. And if you want me to continue doing videos like this, give this video a thumbs up and let me know, because there are so many creepy things that have to do with like old toys that we used to have and old candy bars and all kinds of stuff like that. So let me know. Also, don't forget to head to Moot's channel and give him a follow because a new video will be coming out very, very soon. And yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!